Here we go. Rapper and potential presidential candidate Kanye West has reportedly fired White House supremacist Nick Fuentes and reinstated right-wing provocateur Milo Yiannopoulos in his long shot 2024 campaign. West has also reportedly ousted Ali Alexander, 2020 election denier and organizer of the Stop the Steal movement. Yiannopoulos allegedly sent emails to Fuentes and Alexander informing them they were terminated and he had been appointed director of political operations. West's 2024 campaign has been marked by stops and starts. Last year, he ran for president and received only 0.04% of the popular vote nationally. His business empire collapsed after he made a series of anti-Semitic comments and praised Adolf Hitler. Yiannopoulos rose to prominence as an editor of Breitbart News, but lost his job after video clips emerged of him saying it was possible for 13-year-old boys to have perfectly consensual sexual relations with adults. So what are your thoughts on the story?
I think Milo Yiannopoulos is a genius. He is planning things that you don't even know, and then they are working. And I am not surprised to hear that he is once again working with Ye, because I wouldn't be surprised if this was his plan the entire time. I don't know what else to say about it. I mean, it feels all a bit chaotic, but you know, from what I know of Milo, from the conversations I've had with him, from what people have heard him talk about, you know, this dude has a plan. You know, he's doing something. He's not just sitting there throwing dartboards at the wall. He's got something going on.
What is that something?
I don't know. I think he wants revenge on the Republican establishment. I think he wants revenge for dedicating so much of his life to Trump, MAGA, and the conservative movement, only to be insulted and thrown out. And I think he is particularly someone who's formidable and clearly has the means to strike back and be successful in doing so. I'm not saying it's like he's guaranteed to win whatever it is he is planning, but now here he is rehired by Kanye West. Yeah. Whatever his plan is, it seems to be working.
You define this working? So
yeah. Yeah.
Define working. What is working?
Well, I suppose it's if Milo Yiannopoulos is mad at the Republican establishment,
yeah,
and then he gets Kanye West into the fray in politics, and the House GOP tweeted something like Musk, Kanye, Trump, or whatever, and then Ye goes on Alex Jones's show and starts praising Hitler, causing damage for the Republicans. Like, I think he's getting his revenge in some form. Like, working is, I'll put it this way. If what he was doing wasn't working, we would not be talking about him. So I don't know what his plan is, but he has maintained his position and his influence and his effect. There you go. Kanye, Elon, Trump. They tweeted that out. They deleted it.
Yeah.
Now, I wonder how much Milo had to do with that.
That's the House Judiciary GOP? Yeah. Kanye, Elon, Trump. What does that mean exactly?
They were just saying, like, I guess they like these guys, right? Elon was buying Twitter. Trump is Trump. Kanye was speaking out in support of Trump and things like that. And now, because there's a fascinating thing that occurs in this country in terms of what I call cultural context. The context of the time is not praising what Kanye said about Adolf Hitler. It doesn't matter. Because what the left will do is if you praise Kanye 10 years ago for being a great musician and you say that you think he's a genius, they will cut the date out and just take the tweet and say, you praised Kanye West. How dare you? Yeah. That's so and you're like, that was 10 years ago. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
That was during College Dropout.
Yeah.
What's going on?
Yeah, I loved him.
Not how it works. Wow. They strip the context around. So I'll give you an example. I once said, there's a video of me where I'm like, I don't trust the New York Times. I trust Dave Rubin, right? If I'm looking at this and Dave Rubin, I'm not going to trust what the New York Times says. What they do is they cut that particular quote and they say, look how stupid Tim Pool is trusting Dave Rubin over New York Times. It was referring to one specific story. I can't remember exactly the details, but what'll happen is there will be a reporter reporting on your life, Patrick. And then your friend will come out and make a video saying, like, look, if I'm reading about this, I trust Patrick. I don't trust the New York Times. And then they're going to be like, how stupid of him to trust a podcaster over the media. It's like, dude, the story was about him and the job he had. Why would I trust an external company about him personally? But what they do is they'll strip out the context to make it sound like you're speaking generally. Another example is I said, there's a clip of me going, InfoWars is like a right-wing Huffington Post, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, Tim Pool actually thinks InfoWars is credible news. The specific context of the story is there were journalists on the ground covering Donald Trump's rally. Their goal is to try and capture people the way Huffington Post do. Like, they're like a right-wing Huffington Post. So in one specific context, I'm saying this thing, they strip that out. That works. So I don't know what Milo's plan is, or what Ye's plan is for that matter. But if Milo is able to get himself into the highest, like Kanye is probably the most famous guy on the planet, or one of them. He's got access. He's doing something. You just don't know. You just don't know what he's doing. But I mean, let's talk about what not working would be. We wouldn't be talking about it. We wouldn't know where he was. And the fact of the matter is, there's probably 7 billion people you can't name whose plan is not working.
That's a good point.
I don't know. We'll see what's going to. I had a very interesting conversation with Milo one time 7 years ago in Florida. But the guy's definitely a great marketer. Didn't he just start? Rob, you were telling me something about he started called Clinic.
It's a conversion therapy clinic here in Florida, in Sarasota, I believe. It is a.
What does it do, Rob?
I believe it.
Conversion, people from Democrats to Republicans?
No.
So it comes in and slaps you in the head?
From, I believe, homosexuality to heterosexuality.
This is Milo?
They're bringing him back?
Let's talk about how the media lies. Yeah. I had Milo Yiannopoulos on my show, and we talked about the media says you're straight now. Milo says I never said that. Milo explained that he is a gay man who is Christian, recognizes that these behaviors and practices are bad, so he will abstain from them and thus be celibate. The media then
go back to his picture, Rob.
The media then started reporting he's claiming he's now straight, but that is not what he said at all. And so I actually asked him, I was like, so you're still attracted to men? He's like, yes. And I'm like, okay, but you're not going to be hooking up with me. He's like, no, that's wrong. And I'm like, oh, okay, so you're celibate. He's like, yes.
Oh, wow.
So it's like, that's a very different story to what the media was saying.
Yeah.
How long does celibate last, though, for you? Celibate for a week, a month?
If he's being serious,
Go down to the story, Rob. Can we read this one? Right-wing cultural critic Milo Yiannopoulos came out last week as ex-gay and is now preparing to open a controversial conversion therapy facility in Florida. The Post has, in an interview with the Post, the former Breitbart news editor revealed his plans to launch a reparative therapy clinic to help other people go through the same journey as I am on myself, despite the lack of data showing effectiveness of the exercise. Asked in what sense he is ex-gay, Yiannopoulos told the Post that he is an ongoing process of trying to reorient his homosexuality, but for now is in a stage of abstinence and enjoys using the term to troll his critic.
He just tells you what he's doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Ex-gay.
Right.
I still think a conversion therapy place for Democrat to Republican is pretty funny.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.